Well, welcome back, guys, to another vlog. I'm Angie, and this is Angel's Excursions. For all of you out there who are new to the channel, I am a landscape photographer and a tour director, a painter. I wear a lot of hats, but photography is my passion. And I feel like I haven't given you guys a photography vlog in a very long time. So it is pretty ugly outside here today in Alaska, and I decided that I would show you guys my gear that I have accumulated over the past few years. I have been into photography for a very long time, since I was 14 years old. My grandfather gave me my very first camera. It was a Canon AE1 program, and I love that camera. I used to take it with me everywhere. Everywhere I went, I had my camera with me. That camera was stolen from me in my late teens, and I didn't have a camera for a while, and the ones that I did have were more like point and shoot type cameras. My friends used to call me paparazzi because I was always taking pictures everywhere I go, and that's actually my trail name for hiking is Shutterbug, because Shutterbug. Yeah, I have always had a camera. I'm very passionate about it. I have learned how to develop film when I was in high school. I was in the yearbook staff in high school. I took a couple of photography classes in college. I recently took one last year just to kind of refresh and give me a different perspective on creativity, because I was feeling a little bit down. So I took a college course last year. But I absolutely love cameras, and I love filming, and I love being outdoors and just capturing that beauty of the outdoors and people in their environments, animals in their environments in the outdoors. So today I'm going to show you guys the things that I use on a daily basis, and then all of my other photography equipment. We're going to start off with my digital photography stuff, and then we'll talk about some film stuff. I have some point and shoot cameras, and then I'll talk about my drones, my action cameras, and all of my lenses that I have here. The first camera that I'll talk about is actually going to be this camera right here. This camera was the first professional type camera that I got back in 2006. This particular EOS came out, this is a Rebel, it came out in about 2004 or 2005 this came out. And this camera is still in working condition. All of my cameras are in working order, and I haven't shot with this camera in a while. Funny thing is, I had this camera, and a friend and I went to New York, and we were running late to get to our flight. I didn't have time to pack my camera into my bag, so I had it around my neck, and the strap came off, and it fell, and it cracked the battery pack. So I had duct tape over that battery pack for a number of years because the camera was still in full working order. I did ruin the actual lens that I had it cracked the inside of the threads, so I couldn't put any filters or anything on it. But yeah, I just recently replaced the battery pack for this one, so this camera is fully operable. I mean, I'm not going to use it for video, but I may use it to take some pictures on, just so that I can kind of see the difference, or if I want that older effect from the way digital used to be to how it is now, I'll use this camera. But this was my very first kind of professional camera when I began work again. The only camera that you won't see here is going to be the camera that I'm using to take this vlog, and it is my vlogging camera. I use it for all of my vlogs, and it is the Sony ZV-1, and I use that pretty much for B-roll and to film face to face when I'm doing vlogs like this. This camera right here, this is my other digital camera. This is my slave horse, my go-to. This is the camera that I use every day that goes with me everywhere whenever I'm on a trip. This is a camera that took most of the pictures for my calendar last year. This is the Canon EOS 5D Mark IV, and it is an older camera. It came out 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, and it's still in great working condition, and a lot of professional photographers actually own this particular camera because it was way ahead of its technology when it came out. So I can shoot video with this camera. It shoots up to 4K, and it shoots in RAW. It has 2 different slots for the memory card, so you can carry 2 cards inside of the camera. I really love this camera, and it's very easy to use. I'm a Canon girl, so most of my cameras are going to be Canon, and that's just because that's what I learned as I was growing up. That's the camera that I had, and they kind of stuck with the way that they work as far as functioning, and so it's very easy to learn. But yes, this is the camera, my camera of choice. I really want to upgrade to a mirrorless camera, but they're a little expensive, so I'll stick with what works with me right now, and that's this guy. It has right now a 24 to 105 lens on it, and that's a standard lens at it's like a f4, so it's not a low aperture one, but it gets the job done for me. This particular lens, I do name most of my lenses. This lens is Charlie Bradbury, and if you're a Supernatural fan, you will know who Charlie is, but she is strong. I have dropped this lens, and this lens just keeps going. I really like this lens a lot. I did buy my camera directly from Canon, and then I got the warranty on top of that. So they do have part on their website where you can get things as refurbished, and you can get the full year warranty, and you can buy the extended warranty, and as long as the camera's in working condition, you can actually extend the warranties when they're coming due. So yes, this is my baby doll. And so the other cameras that I have are film cameras, and this camera here, this is a Fuji camera, and I got this camera from my grandmother. So this was my grandmother's camera before she passed, and my mom gave it to me, and it's just the basic point and shoot. I really enjoy this camera because I can just put it into my bag, pull it out, and take a picture. It only has 2 modes on it. It has a zoom mode and then a regular lens mode, but I like it, and I've gotten some pretty good photographs from this particular camera. So if you're just looking for something, if you want to shoot in film, or you want to start shooting in film, but you don't want to have to use a SLR, a point and shoot I would recommend getting a point and shoot of some sort. I really enjoy having something that's just really just lightweight, easy to use, if I don't want to fool around with my heavier SLR cameras. And speaking of those, I have a couple of SLRs. The first one I'll talk about is this camera here, and this is the Rebel G. And the Rebel G is a SLR, of course. It's 35 millimeter, but it's an automatic camera, so it's very lightweight. I really love it. It's really lightweight, probably weighs like less than a pound. It's really lightweight. You can put it on a tripod. It has the flash with it, and it has a program dial on it in which you can actually change everything around to being automatic, fully automatic for you. You can use it fully manual, programmed, a bulb with it. It has like a landscape setting. It has a portrait setting. It has like a sports setting on it. So this is a very versatile camera as far as being a 35 millimeter film camera. So I do like this camera. This is my second one of these. The very first one that I had, I bought last year, and I was in Washington on a trail at the river, and I was trying to get some video of the river itself. I had this camera on a tripod and it fell in the river. So I had to send it in. I always buy a warranty. If there is a warranty available when you purchase your equipment, because it's expensive, I suggest buying the extended warranties that covers damage. So I was able to get my money back. They weren't able to repair the camera, but I was able to get my money back. And then I repurchased the camera because I enjoy this camera so very much. So now we're going to talk about this camera. This camera is really special to me. This is the Canon AE-1. And this camera is the camera that I first had that my grandfather gave me. And it was stolen. Like I said, all of my work was stolen. I had boxes of film and prints, my cameras, everything was stolen from me. And it took me a long time, and I always was really sad about that because my grandfather gave it to me before he passed away. And so when I got this camera, it was like the return. It was just kind of like how the circle of life goes. So this is my grandmother's camera. Her and my grandfather had the same cameras. She had one, he had one, and he gave me his. And before she passed away, she gave me hers. And I cherish this camera so very much. So this is the AE-1 program. Program meaning you can program it to do the things that you want it to do, as far as with aperture and stuff like that. Right now it just has a standard lens on it. So this is a 35-70, but I do have a couple of other lenses I'll talk about for it. And my website, this camera came back to me like 20-something years later. And I'm just very happy and very appreciative that I'm able to use my grandmother's cameras and continue the work that the camera was doing before I got it back into my hands. So the next thing that we'll talk about is going to be my medium format camera, which is right here. This camera I acquired last year. This is a Mamiya camera, and it is a medium format camera. So this is where the shutter is at here on the side. And you actually open it up, and that's how you look down. This is a waist viewfinder, so you look down into the camera to take the photographs. I have used it. It is very fun to use. It is heavy, so I would use it for like if I was going to do something specific, but it also has a regular viewfinder as well on it where you can actually hold it up, but this takes the weight off because you're able to put it around your neck and then look down into it. But yes, I actually really like this camera a lot. I saw it when I was in San Diego. I went to go visit a friend, and I went to go visit a friend and went to one of the old camera stores that I used to go to when I was in high school, still open, George's Cameras, and they had this. I went for film, but I ended up walking out of the store with this. So I actually really love this camera too. I haven't used it as much as I probably should, but it's great. It's a great camera. And that is all for the cameras that I own right now. I have my eyes on some other cameras, but for right now, these are the cameras that I own. Next, we'll talk about my lenses. I have a few different lenses for the cameras themselves. I have the camera lenses here. So this one is for the AE1. I have two. These lenses these are very heavy lenses. These are really good lenses, good glass on these lenses. This lens comes from Japan, as well as this one. This Canon AE1 is Japanese as well. So I have these two lenses. One's a 50 millimeter and the other two are just standard lenses. For my Canon, my other Canons, I have this lens. His name is Thor. I do name my lenses. This lens is Charlie Bradbury. If you are into Supernatural, you'll understand that. But this is Thor because Thor is awesome. He delivers that thunder. So this is a 100 to 400 millimeter lens, so my telephoto lens, and I use that for wildlife. I also use it for landscape. If you're into photography and you do have extra lenses, try taking some photos in landscape. I feel like the compression brings everything into you, and it just looks so amazing. So I've been shooting more in landscape with this particular lens. And then I have this lens here. This is another Canon one. I'm trying to think which. This is a 100 millimeter macro lens, and I bought that for this particular camera here, but I have used it on my film camera as well. I'm still trying to figure out the macro status of everything because I've never really taken macro photography. I haven't really done a lot of macro photography, and I like it though, but I'm still trying to figure it all out. But yes, this is a 100 millimeter lens. I think it has a very small aperture of 2.8, which is pretty good. So good for low light, and it gives you nice bright colors. This is my wide angle. This is a 10 to 24 lens. This is by Tamron, and I've had this lens for a very long time. Before I bought this EOS, the 5D, I had a Canon T3i. That's a really good beginner-friendly camera. I gave that camera to my mom when I bought this camera, but that's when I bought this lens. And wide angle shots, very good. So landscaping shots, you can get really good shots on this particular lens. And probably if you wanted to do a little bit of cinematography, this lens would work as well. This particular lens right here, I don't use it. It came with the Rebel G. It's a 35 to 80. I haven't used it at all. The lens isn't as high quality, and it has a really high. It's like 5.6, so not something that I would use, but I did keep it just because it came with the kit itself. This is my teleconverter. This converter here will actually double the length of the lens, and so I use it with this camera here. It will change it from 100 to 400 to 200 to 800 millimeters, and I use that in wildlife. I've used it a few different times and have been able to capture some good pictures. The only thing is that you can't use it with autofocus. You have to kind of use it with manual focus, and you need to have it on the tripod because any type of shake will make the photo blurry. But I have used it a few times and it works pretty good. I'm thinking that I want to get the 1.5 just to bring it down a little bit, because then I'll be able to use it in a fully automatic mode. But yeah, those are the lenses that I have. And the next thing I'll talk about is going to be my action cameras. I only have two, and one of them I don't use. It is in full working condition. This is the GoPro 4. The Hero 4. And for those who are into action cameras, you know that this is oldie. This camera here is the first one that I had, and I've used it. I bought it for trips to Canada, and so I bought this one for a trip to Canada that I took many years ago up to Montreal and to Mount Tremblant, where I was in their national park and doing some waterfall hikes, and so I use this particular camera. Then I have my T3i as far as my digital camera, but this is a camera that I took with me to handhold with. This camera is waterproof, and the batteries last literally 30 seconds. You have to have a lot of batteries with it, but yeah, this is a really good camera. When I found this camera again, because I've had stuff in boxes, it had a SD card in it, but the SD card didn't really have anything good on it. But yeah, this camera has a lot of memories behind it. I really I really like that camera there. This is the GoPro 9, and I do still use this camera a lot, especially when that camera, my vlogging camera, was in the shop. This is what I was taking my vlogs on, and it is good for vlogging, kind of. I don't know. It has the mods on there, so you can change it. You can do modifications to it, but it is really good for astral photography. So if you want to do or astral videography, I should say, where you can put your camera out, set it out, and just let it go on a slow night time lapse. So I have taken footage in that way, but this camera gets a lot of work as well, especially if I'm going out on a hike, because I have the chesty for it, I have the head thing for it, I have a lot of different gear. I can put it onto my helmet, attach it to my kayak. So this camera here has seen a lot, and I do use this particular camera a lot still, but photography in its best moments, there's just so much, and the technology is so much better now. But for me, I love the nostalgia of the older cameras and film cameras and like the point and shoot film cameras, but I love the new technology of things like my EOS. And so there's just so much versatility, and you can find your own style within all of these different systems, your own brand that you like or that you prefer. Like I prefer Canon, some people prefer Nikon. Fuji's a really good brand, Sony's a really good brand, Panasonic has the OM brand. So there's like so many different brands out there for you to experiment with, or to find what system works best for you. But yeah, the last thing that I'll talk about is going to be my drones. So I have two drones. I have the Mavic Air 2, and I also have the Mini Pro 4. And so this particular drone is a lot heavier. It shoots 4K. It's really good. I've used it a lot. I like this drone a lot. This drone's name is Airo. Again, if you know Avatar: The Last Airbender, then you know who Airo is. And I love Airo. This one here, I've used it. I was really scared to use a drone in the beginning because it's just like, I don't want to crash into anything, and it's just really scary to me the first time that I used it. And then again, a reason why I always buy the warranties is because of things like that. So this one here is a replacement, and The first one that I had, I ran into a tree. I was using it on the speed mode or the sports mode, and I ran into a tree, and nothing happened. The drone was still working, but when I sent it in to get my warranty replaced or updated so I can get the extended warranty on there, they found out that I had broke like one of the arms in there. So I just had to pay. I didn't pay much. I think I paid like $78, and they replaced it for me. So this is a replacement drone, but it is a little heavier, of course. You can't take this one internationally without having a lot of permits and things like that to be able to use it. So this one sticks to US soil mainly, and that's why I bought the Mini Pro 4. And so this is a Mini Pro 4. I have taken this particular one with me out of the country, recently to Iceland last year. And I bought it specifically for traveling because it's 249 grams, and so it meets the qualifications to be able to go into different countries. If you add anything onto it, because you can buy the heavier or the longer extended battery in that and bring it over the 249 grams. So I just have like 3 or 4 of the batteries. They do pretty well, but I do like this one a lot because it is super lightweight. Like I can literally put this into my coat pocket if I wanted to. And it comes with, both of them have their own RC receivers. So this one is iRO's receiver, and this one uses my phone to attach to it to be able to use it. And then this drone's name is Zuko. So Zuko and iRO, they are grandfather and grandson. And so this is the RC receiver for that one. It has a screen on there, which I really enjoy. But my drones have become part of my channel and my photography life. I have taken some really good photos from the drones and a really good video as well, because it shoots up to 4K, and you can shoot it, you can use it manually, which I love. Yeah, I really am enjoying photography a lot more, and I am experimenting with things a lot more and different techniques and stuff. So for my cameras here, this is the film that this camera uses. This is medium format film. I shoot in both black and white and color. So this is what the film looks like for that. And then of course this is 35mm film that works for these 3 cameras here. So for me, one of the great joys about shooting is with 35mm and with my digital, because I have printed digital pictures as well, is when you get back the photos that you've taken on your 35mm. I really love the fact that I can like touch my pictures and that I have these memories. This is my van. This one is from my van, and yeah, I don't know if that's gonna focus for you guys, but in Death Valley. So I really enjoy the fact that I can take pictures and then get back the prints and get back the film. So this is 35mm film. This is what it looks like when it comes back. This is medium format film, and you'll notice the size is a lot different here because the photos are a lot larger. In 2025, I want to use my cameras more, bring some vlogs to you guys specifically with photography and me being in the outdoors. I have added pictures to my website. I actually have some photos that I still need to edit. I have so many pictures, you all. I was looking at my Lightroom storage, and I have about 50,000 photos uploaded into my Lightroom. I have tons of pictures on memory cards, and it is just so crazy. But I'm obsessed, and I need to take more pictures. And I'm hoping that this year I'm able to purchase a newer camera, a mirrorless DSLR, and but fingers crossed that I'll be able to afford something like that. I've been looking at the R5 by Canon. I really, really like the results that I'm seeing with other photographers, and I just want to be able to take better pictures and just continue on this journey of photography. Well, I guess coming to the end of this vlog, and my takeaways are: do what you love and be your most authentic selves. Do the things that you love. For me, it is photography, and that might not be what it is for you, but follow your passions and just live your lives the best way that you know how. For anyone who is thinking about going into photography, I suggest just doing it, even if you're starting with used gear, because that helps with upcycling and things not being in a landfills. Places to look for camera equipment used: KEH is a great source, MPB, B&H Photo. There's so many places you can go and look for a local camera store in your area. A lot of times they have new and used equipment. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. There's just so many ways to look for gear that will fit your budget. And just get out there and take some pictures. See what you get, see what you like. Because this world is beautiful. And even though we have so many things that go on in the world that may not be happy things, joyful things, you can find joy in photography, and you can find joy in life. And getting outside is one of those ways. I always am an advocate of getting outside, and even on days like this when it's raining outside, just getting out there and enjoying life and enjoying yourselves and and each other and your communities. And yeah, but I guess I'll end this vlog. Thank you so very much for those who are here, that have been here, for those who are just coming into this journey with me. 2025 looks very bright for me as far as creativity and growth. And for me, my mantra is I can do hard things. Let me know, what is your mantra? What pushes you? But mine is I can do hard things. I've done them before, I can do them again. And I will catch you guys in the next one. So again, with love, take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.